Well, hello, hello, hello. I hope you all are having a super duper fantastic day today. Look, I'm behind the scenes cutting it up with my team members, y'all. So y'all got to forgive me when I come up here looking crazy and laughing and all that stuff. That's just because we've been talking before I went live at 5. Hey, I'm live at 5. Hey, it's Friday. It's my day and I'm live at 5. Okay, come on inside the room, right? It's all about emotional intelligence. You guys got to get this. So like all weeks, number one, I started off telling you that the Holy Spirit speaks, right? He speaks, hashtag he speaks, hashtag he speaks, hashtag he speaks. You got to get with the program. You got to know this for yourself. Like I ain't trying to change your mind because that's not what this is about, but I'm trying to let you know he does speak to me. Number two, we started talking about having this emotional, well, not emotional intelligence, but self-control and learning how to deal with problems and how I actually respond in the heat of the moment. Like when the upset is really there, like when you're actually challenged with a situation. And inside of Wisdom Wednesday, I talked to you about my daughter actually being robbed at school, like during the play. Like she's on stage performing musical Annie, and somebody is like in the locker room robbing her. So it's an inside job. Do you get what I'm saying? So it's a whole lot of things going on there. And I talked to you about self-control, right? I talked to you about what is it that I wanted, who is it that I needed to be when I was having the conversations with the police officers and the security guard on site and all the things, and the teacher of the drama club and all that. I had to figure out what did I want, right? And who did I need to be, right? We talked about this. And then what was I willing to give up? And can I get the desired results somewhere else if I can't get it with the people that I'm talking to now? But today we're going to talk about this emotional intelligence, because when I was having a conversation with the security guard and the school resource officer is what they're called. So that's the police officer that's assigned to your child's school. Now I'm schooling y'all. Y'all might not know, but I'm telling y'all who you're going to need to work with if you have some incident at school and you start going up the chain and you talking to principals and teachers and security guards and all these things. You got to know the different positions that can help you get the results that you need. So I wind up, yep, thank you for giving me the thumbs up, whoever that is out there. Hey, Sherilyn, I see you up here inside of the chat. Let me definitely shout you out. Thank you so much for being in here and being behind the scenes and doing all the things that you do for the queens inside the queendom. So listen, so as I was having the conversation, I requested a meeting. My daughter was actually robbed on Saturday. I didn't hear from anybody from the school until Monday night because they was off that Monday. The principal responded to my email at 9:50, like that Sunday morning before worship started. I had already found the security officer's emails, the teacher that I talked to that night, the principal. Like I had emailed all of them Sunday, and it was kind of like, when I started off my email, I was like, hey, I hope this email finds you well. And I told them, hey, I labeled it like my daughter was robbed, like daughter robbed during Annie production, right? So when they saw the email, they knew exactly what the conversation was going to be about. And then I started off saying, hey, this is not an opportunity or a situation where we're going to start like finger pointing, because there's enough responsibility and ownership to go around. So that's not what this email is about. We're going to address some of the things that I feel like would move this forward and make this better for the future, right? So I started listing like the requests that I had, right? Number one was, so we're going to run this money back to the Merriweathers. I don't know how we're going to do it, but we're running it back, right? And I know that may sound like a big request, but I already had in my mind how to get it done, how to get a yes, right? And I'm going to tell you. Then the second thing was, how can we make it safer for her belongings? Because when I talked to the teacher, they didn't have locked rooms. They didn't have lockers inside the room where the production change and dressing rooms were. They didn't have a lot of things in place that I assumed that they had in place, right? Hashtag don't assume, right? Because see, when you start assuming that things are safer than what they really are, this is how you be messing up and missing out. So you got to make sure you have all the information, right? This is all about emotional intelligence, hashtag emotional intelligence, because you got to get how to react and how to respond to these heated situations when you are confronted with them, right? So after I did the email, I made the 4 requests. So number 2 was what safety measures we're going to put in place. Number 3, can you email all the parents to let them know what happened, right? Because my thought is, if you notify the parents and they see their child with some money that they know they didn't have, they'll be asking questions like we do when we see something like that happen inside of our family, right? And then I also wanted them to do something else. I wanted their notification process to be quicker, right? Because no one talked to me or reached out to me the whole weekend, and that was way too long. Like if something happens at school with your child on a Saturday, nobody from the team, no adult trying to have a conversation with you until they go back to school on Monday or Tuesday. Nah, that's hashtag unacceptable. Put it in the chat. Hashtag unacceptable. So Deneen wasn't having it. So I emailed everybody that Sunday and I put in the different things that I wanted to see happen and I wanted to see pop up or for them to improve. And that notification process was one of them, right? So after I had that, I started meeting with people, in person. Well, not face to face, but virtually. I met with the school resource officer and also the security guard on site. And here was some of the things that was super duper important that I want to help you with when you're in this conversation, because it takes practice, right? Because I'm already in a heightened situation where my daughter's been robbed, but I also want results and I want to be able to communicate with people intelligently and emotionlessly as possible, right? So the first thing that I would say is choose your words wisely. Put it in the chat. Choose your words wisely. And the reason why I say that is because during this conversation, one of the security guards told me how in the student handbook there was verbiage in there about them locking up their personal items or securing their personal items, and that he said if I wanted him to, he would make a copy of it and email it to me. Now, do you think that was something that he needed to say to me during that meeting, that they have something in the handbook and if I want him to, he can make a copy of it and send it to me? That's not intelligent. And so this is what I said. Right. Sherilyn said no. I said absolutely no. So when he said that to me, with my husband sitting here on my side, y'all, because he be trying to help. He be trying to help me. He trying to make sure I'm in alignment. But sometimes when people come to you sideways like that, you just have to stop for a minute. And I was just like, wait a minute. In my mind, I'm saying, did he just say this to me right now? What are you going to say, Deneen? And I said, now, sir, do you think that was the wisest thing to say to me right now in this moment? That you can go make a copy of a handbook where the students receive that they should have locked their stuff up. Now, didn't that sound pretty crazy, y'all? Like, that wasn't something that he needed to say, right? So you got to make sure that you choose your words wisely. And of course, when I asked him that, it was crickets. Nobody said nothing after that. Everybody was quiet. But then, of course, my husband came in and saved the day and kind of explained it from a management point of view. And this was beautiful. So I'm going to give it to you what he said, because you may need to use this, right? You may need to maybe in a situation where you need to bring to people's awareness that, yes, you may have done that thing, but obviously whatever it is that you've done, that you handed out, is not effective because the people still getting robbed. Like, the people not paying attention to what you're saying. So whatever you gave them to help prevent is not working. It's ineffective. So my husband said, I know you believe that this is a safe school, a safe place to be. And he said, even at my job, we believe that it's safe, but things happen, people get hurt. And the things that we tell them to take care of themselves, they are in a handbook. But you got to believe that when people are not dealing with certain information every day, like have to apply information every day, it's not something top of mind. But when an incident happens and someone gets hurt, it's an opportunity for you to bring awareness back to the documentation that they need to be careful, right? And get that these people don't memorize the handbook. They don't remember. Like, the longer they stay away from the handbook, the least they remember from the handbook. Does that make sense? Hey, Sean. And so I totally was like, now, John Merriweather, you did that right there. And that got everybody that's like, you know what? You absolutely right. Right. And that was after I said, now, do you think that that's something that you should have said to me right now? Right. Because it wasn't emotional intelligent on his part, but my husband brought it in a way where it could be received that, yeah, we probably shouldn't have said that. That don't make sense, right? And then again, for me, it's like, yeah, you bringing that up, but it's ineffective. So make sure you choose your words wisely. The second thing is watch the body language. Like, if you see people starting to get tense, like in one part of the situation, I threw the finger up and I was like, hold on for a second. My husband was like, Deneen, come on now, girl. Come on. And the reason why I threw the finger up was because the guy was going in a different direction. Like, he was headed in a direction to explaining something that it just didn't make any sense, right? It was just like, why is he saying this to me? What, and I was just like, nope, we're going down the rabbit hole. You're going in the wrong, hold up, you're going in the wrong direction. That's not what I'm asking. And then the person that was sitting next to him stepped in and started to answer the actual question that I asked, right? So there's ways that you need to be focused, right? You got to be watching people on how they're responding to the things they're saying, because they're going to give you an indication if you rubbing them the wrong way. And if somebody throw their hand up like this right here, the church lady finger, you know what that means. That means wait, that means stop, that means hold up, that means take a pause, all the things, right? So I threw the finger up and it was the universal sign. Wait a minute, stop right there. Stop, don't come no further, right? So after that, you truly, number 3, have to be concerned about what the other person wants. I know you don't want to hear that. I know you don't want to hear that part. But you have to be concerned about the other person's desires. You cannot go into a situation not expecting to compromise. So you got to be listening. You got to be open to receive and care about making this a win-win situation and not a win-lose situation. Does that make sense? Hashtag win-win, hashtag win-win, hashtag win-win. It's super important that you go into every situation wanting everybody to win. Because if you don't, you come out with comments like he said, I could get a copy of this handbook. See, that was very defensive, right? That was him trying to prove his case that they did everything that they could do instead of something did go awry here, right? Ownership. Like, she did get robbed at the school. So whatever we put in place it did not work on Saturday. Right? And what can we do to improve this situation so it doesn't happen to any other child again? And that was what I was looking for. Like, what are we going to put in place to make this work? Because right now, the policies, procedures that you have, they don't work. And whoever you need to speak to let them know that as a parent, I don't like this notification system. It's unacceptable for you to wait 4 days before you notify me or talk to me about the situation that happened at school. We're going to run this money back to the Merriweather household. I need you to send out an email to all the cast members and their parents so they're aware. And then what are the policies or things we're going to put in place so the children can actually secure their items? Are you going to get locker rooms and then we provide the locks as parents? Like, what are we going to do to make this a win-win for everybody? I got skin in the game. You got skin in the game. And so far, I've received 2 things off the list. Right? The money is running back because DJ is going to be waived her production fee for the next 2 productions, right? And that was my recommendation, right? I said, well, look, I don't want people paying money out their pocket, but I invest for her to be in these programs. So I want her fees waived, right? And I made a request. I already knew in my mind how I wanted the money to run back, right? Because I figured a teacher don't want to pay this $100 back out of their pocket. Nobody wants to take that type of ownership. I'm like, no. You can waive these fees that I'm going to have to pay for her to participate in this place where she wasn't safe, right? So you guys can do it. Emotional intelligence is a real thing. Pay attention to it. Make sure you choose your words wisely. Look at the body language of the people that you're communicating with, because it's going to give you some signs on whether or not you're doing good, great, or not so great. And then number 3, be concerned about what they want as well. All right. It's not just about you. Make it a win-win. All right. Always looking forward to serving you. Remember, next week is International Coaches Week. Yes. Be checking your email. I'm going to be sending some emails out. I'm going to be sending some freebies, some content, something that you could take advantage of. And I'm going to also give you an opportunity to sign up for the new group coaching program that will be starting in June. And it's going to be for women who actually want to work on themselves, right? Their life, like having the healthy relationships. So healthy relationships, that's what it's going to be focused with. But the first relationship we're going to be focused on is the relationship with who? With you. All right. Always looking forward to serving you. I will see you guys on Monday. Enjoy your weekend. I'm live at 5. Hey, I'm live